And may I call to the stage Miss Marie Tony Bautista, CFA, to introduce our speaker for the next session.
So I'll give them a warm round of applause.
Morning, everyone. How's your morning so far? All good? Okay, so we're very pleasured to have with us this morning Mr. Robert Ramos, CFA. Mr. Ramos completed his bachelor's degree from the Ateneo de Manila University, as already mentioned. He finished his master's degree in Asian Institute of Management and the University of Asia and the Pacific. He has been in the banking industry for more than 15 years, working for the likes of the World Health Organization, the United States Agency for International Development, Bank of the Philippine Islands, and the BDO Private Bank. He actually has experience in the fields of corporate finance, product development, fund management, marketing, and relationship management. He is a CFA charter holder, a Kaya charter holder, a certified securities representative, a registered financial consultant, and a certified treasury professional. Mr. Ramos also completed a one-year course in trust operations with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Mr. Robert Ramos.
Another student.
Thank you, Tony. That was a very generous introduction. Anyway, my name is Rob Ramos. I'm the Trust Officer of the Union Bank of the Philippines, and I'm here to talk to you about the importance of the CFA Charter and how it can help you in your future. So, the CFA Institute is a not-for-profit institution. Okay, it includes about 130,000 members, and as you can see, it has about 145 member societies in 17 countries. The mission is actually to lead the investment profession, globally by promoting the highest standards of ethics, education, professional excellence, for the ultimate benefit of society. I think I'd like to focus on the last few words. It's actually for the ultimate benefit of society. As you remember, for those of you who were around in 2008 and 2009, what happened? What happened in 2008 and 2009? Yeah, market crashed around the world. So what we're trying to do, what the Institute is trying to do is actually promote ethics, education, and professional excellence to prevent such things from happening again. More than about 300 universities have incorporated at least 70% of the CFA curriculum into their finance and economic standards. So some of you guys might be taking portions of the CFA curriculum already. So we hope that you take these lessons to heart. A lot of people, especially in this region, or actually in the Philippines, see the CFA Institute as what? As an exam giving body. Am I right? When I say CFA Institute, what comes to your mind? 10 to 1. Who thinks of one word and it's basically CFA exams? Raise your hand, please. CFA exams, come on. I'll do this again. When I say CFA Institute, CFA Charter, the first thing that comes to your head is exams or CFA Charter. That's it. Raise your hand. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. I'd like to say that it's not just all about the CFA exam. There's a lot of things that are going on with the CFA Institute. Okay? One of the largest departments of the Institute focuses on developing and advocating the highest standards for professional conduct and the code of ethics for professionals, government regulators. I'm happy to have worked with Richard, Neil, and Andy, who isn't here today, and bringing these people to our regulators and bringing these people to other professionals in the country. So, the CFA Institute actually helps uphold or bring out the best standards in the country, ethical standards in the country. The Institute doesn't only administer the CFA exams, it also administers the Claritas and the CIPM exams. So what are these? Well, the Claritas, it's a one exam, and it caters to all professionals working in financial services. So in terms of difficulty, Claritas is probably the baseline. To get this certification and to be awarded this certificate, you only need one exam and there is no experience required. The CIPM program, on the other hand, focuses on investment performance and risk evaluation and risk management. This takes 2 exams. And to be awarded the CIPM designation, you need 2 years of professional experience. And last, and definitely not the least, is the CFA program. So this is all about investment decision making, strategy, portfolio wealth management. This baby over here takes 3 exams. And to be awarded the charter, not only do you have to pass the 3 exams, you have to have 4 years of relevant experience. You know what? A lot of people want to take the CFA charter mainly because it gives them global mobility. Okay, you want something that's recognized globally. You know what? Here in the country, fine, you have very, very good schools, but as Professor Bustos, my teacher, tells us, when you go abroad, they don't know what UP is, they don't know what they don't know what Ateneo is, they don't know what De La Salle is. But one thing that I've noticed is, and I'd like to share this, I had a meeting recently with a bank. The first thing that they said when I gave them my card was, hey, you're a CFA charter holder. So the staffing is recognized, whether you're in San Francisco, whether in New York, whether you're in China, Shanghai, China, or Beijing, it's all standard. And if you want to move from New York to San Francisco, to Shanghai, to Korea, you have this with you. Let's look at membership per region. As you can see, North America still has about 65% of the total members. Where we are, it's that small dot over there, Asia Pacific, and there's only about 15%. 15% in the Asia Pacific region. But if you look at candidates, who's growing the fastest? Where is interest being generated? It's right here. It's right in our region, in the Asia Pacific, where 43% of candidates emanate from. So, what is it about the program? What is included in the program? Because in the finance industry, as our former speaker said, it has so many different types of products, different types of specializations. And the nice thing about the CFA program is that it covers every single different area. So what do we learn as a CFA charter holder? The CFA charter our curriculum is organized into 10 general topic areas that provide a framework of important skills needed for making good or sound investment decisions. All these topics, I'd like to say, are grounded in the real world of the investment profession, and these are regularly updated through a practice analysis process that draws on the specialized knowledge of active practitioners, employers, and current charter holders. Okay, and since these are grounded in real-life situations, since these are updated, I'll tell you, when you're actually studying these things, my personal experience is that you're actually using these on the job. Okay? So you can imagine, my job is about, when I started, It's about analyzing portfolios, choosing the right investments for the client. So we'd be looking at fixed income analysis. That's how I started. Later on, as I progressed, it became equity analysis. I'd be using that. And every single time that I had a question, aside from talking to my seniors, talking to my bosses, and Googling it on the internet, I would always find myself going back to my books and trying to answer these questions. Let me show you. So, if you take the 3 levels of the CFA exams, level 1 focuses on investment tools. Level 2, on the other hand, focuses on asset classes and their valuations. While level 3, it's more comprehensive, more complete, talks about portfolio management. Across each level, the focus changes. Level 1 tests knowledge and comprehension, and it uses a multiple response format questions or multiple choice format questions. Application and analysis are tested using level 2, are tested in level 2, and they use case studies. Synthesis and evaluation are tested using case studies and my favorite, essay questions in level 3. So for you who don't have great penmanship such as myself, start practicing using print bold letters. Okay? Make your life much, much easier. So, level 1, multiple choice, it's 240 questions, 120 questions in the AM and 120 questions in the PM. Level 2, it's 20 item sets. And level 3, your morning is your essay. It doesn't change. The morning is the essay, and the afternoon is your item set. Level 1 exams are held in June and December. Level 2 and level 3 are only held in June. You know what? Mastering this curriculum is no easy feat. I think what you have, this is about 300 hours at least of studying for each level. So it's something that it becomes a labor of love. But what's nice about it is, and I think all the charter holders will agree with me, once you finish each level, once you pass each level, the feeling is immeasurable. It's something that I think cannot be replicated easily. As they say, nothing great comes easy. So, what is the equation? How do you go about earning the charter? Well, the simple formula is this. To enroll, you have to hold a bachelor's degree in any subject. It doesn't have to have any relation, as mentioned earlier, any relation to finance, accounting whatsoever. I have fellow charter holders who've taken the charter and their undergraduate is, totally different. You should be at least in your final year of your bachelor's degree program. You should have 4 years of work experience, or a combination of work and study that took us at least 4 years. With a curriculum so broad like that, there is no limit to what type of work it prepares you to do. And I think the other speakers have mentioned it, that earning the charter allows you to do different types of jobs. I've seen people who are portfolio managers, relationship managers, research analysts, or heads of groups, heads of departments, such as myself, to name a few. The list doesn't actually end here. You can actually become a trader, a broker. A favorite example is Dr. Bustos over here, who's an academician. And any other field that actually requires advanced investment skills. So as I said, you go abroad, you meet a number of institutions. These are the top employers and charter holders if you look at a global perspective. As you can see, BA, Citibank, Credit Suisse, HSBC, Wells Fargo are just a few. The top employers at the Asia Pacific region, there's Bank of China, who's added to the list, BNP Paribas, Citibank also, HSBC, Standard Chartered, UBS. So these are the institutions that are actually clamoring for charter holders. So, I talked to you about the benefits. If you want to go about getting your charter, what are the top 5 tips? How do you do this? How do you go about working yourself into it and passing the 3 levels of the CFA exam? First one, and there is no easy way to go about it. Prepare, prepare, prepare. The average candidate would spend about 300 hours preparing for each level. If you're good, maybe 299. I'm kidding. But that's it. Studies say you take about 300 hours to study for each level. You have to study each week for all the 18 study sessions per level. And you need about 4 to 6 weeks of review and practice exams. And there is no substitute in the practice exams. If you were to ask me, how did I ensure that I passed each level? I would practice, practice, practice. And that's how you see, are you ready to take the test or not? There are days when I'd like to shoot myself because after each practice exam, my score was so low that I'd like to cry. But as you near the exam and you see your scores moving up, you'd like to give yourself a pat on the back and say, okay, all the work, everything that you sacrificed and slaved for actually is coming to fruition. There is a learning outcome statement, and to the assigned curriculum, use it. Use the curriculum. Okay? The LOS will tell you what you need to understand from the curriculum and what you have to do. As I said, practice. And don't forget, the CFA Institute only has an approved calculator that you have to use on exam day. So one of the things that you have to do is practice with the approved calculator. I have a friend who said, okay, I'll practice with a calculator, but I realized that she enjoyed practicing computations using her computer. So as the exam year, she had a problem getting used to the actual calculator. So even if she knew the concept, computing it, getting the answers quickly wasn't as easy. So as I said, practice using pencils, practice using the calculator. Show up. Sometimes up to 30% of candidates do not show up on exam day. Go to your exam center. You know what I do? It's so funny. This is me. If I have a relative who, I don't know if you're familiar, I live in Kainta, and that's Rizal, right? During my time, the exam centers were in Makati. So I was always afraid of being late for the exam. It just so happened that I have an aunt who lives in Makati. So every time it was the CFA exam, I would ask her if I could stay in. So every time I visit her, she tells me, is it the CFA exam again, and why are you here? When I tell her it's been several years since I've taken the charter, I guess she will always remember me taking the exam and sleeping in her house and eating her food. Make sure you have the necessary documents to take the exam, passport, calculator, and of course, more importantly, the exam ticket. Listen carefully to all the announcements. Okay, pre-exam, there are a lot of, you go to the site, there are a lot of pre-exam day communications. Make sure that you understand them and you take those to heart. There are instructions regarding taking the exam, so if the proctor tells you to stop writing, please stop writing. Okay? Also, listen. When the proctor tells you not to look at the paper of your seatmate, please listen also. Okay? You don't want your exam to be taken away from you. So, to close up, what are the top 5 myths of taking the CFA exam. Okay? Listen well, because people usually say this a lot. I'm here to tell you what's true and what isn't true. There are prep courses, right, that help you, that may help you. So one of the myths is that question writers look at what the prep courses are saying and test the opposite. The CFA curriculum is the only source used by the exam question writers. Okay? So they complete their work even before the prep courses begin. So that is a myth. Myth number 4 is that the question writer is trying to trick you. No, they're not trying to trick you. They are just trying to test whether you actually know what you're trying, or do you actually know your subject matter, or do you actually listen? Do you actually read the question correctly? Okay? So number 1, I think one of our faults as students and former students is that when there's a question, we try to answer already, even when we're just halfway done reading the question. Make sure that you read the question fully. My favorite example, when they say, it's easy when they say, doing A leads to this. So you have multiple choice and you can choose by doing A, what event does it lead to. But things like doing A does not lead to this. So if you miss the does not, your answer totally changes. So a simple right answer to be marked wrong. You must finish the program at a certain time frame, and so you must take the exam in consecutive sittings. No, there is no longer a time frame where you have to complete the 3 levels of the exam. You need not take the exam in consecutive sittings. You can actually take a break in between. I've seen people do this. But you must take them in order. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. Thus the name, level 1, level 2, level 3. You cannot go 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Whatever. Myth number 2, my friends, prep notes aren't good enough. No, they are not. The curriculum changes every year. So as I said, it's updated every year. So read your current curriculum and base your learnings and base your practice exams based on the current curriculum. The minimum passing score is 70. Well, maybe in the early days it was true. But over the years, the passing score is actually determined every year by the board based on the standard setting at each level. So it helps if you practice and you get, when I was practicing, I made sure that I try to get at least 70. If not 70, I try to get 65 at least. It's just an idea, that you try to get that score. But it doesn't mean that the actual score, that to pass, that you have to get a 70. One of the things that I'd like to end with becoming a CFA charter holder is not only does it expand your capabilities. As you can see, what the curriculum includes a multitude of topics. Some of you will go on and work in the finance sector, probably work in corporate finance. Some of you will work in investments. And such as myself, in that investment world, there are several limitations already. But some of you will become bond traders. Some of you will become equity traders. Some of you will actually do it, I told you over here, will be doing derivatives, etc. So that's your thing. Me, I focused on bonds and equities and portfolio management my whole life. Taking this gives me insight into these other areas, such as corporate finance, such as swaps and derivatives. It expands it. And my usual explanation for this is what it would take. Of course, work experience is very, very important. But what it would take you maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to learn, because you have such a whole range of topics to study. Studying the curriculum actually shortens it because you're exposed to all of these in one sitting, rather than 3 sittings. So, I think that's my time. Thank you very much.